equilibrium of both the carbon and proton NMR, and we conformed the camptothecin. And again, we tease the cells by biotic and abiotic elicitor. And to enhance the camptothecin, I don't want to go and collect the plant and destroy the plant. And in vitro condition, how to enhance that? Yes, of course, that chitin, chitosan, jasminic acid, glutathione, pullulan. We have used biotic and abiotic like cadmium, copper chloride, calcium, tryptophan, salicylic acid, and ethanol. We have used this. And these are all the quantified after treatment of this biotic and abiotic elicitors. And this is a summary. And this is the outcome of these two projects. And this is the paper. And I would like to thank Lakshmi Madam, and I would like to thank the organizers and given me that the opportunity to share with you. You like or not, but I'm happy that I have shared something. And for that, I really thank for the audience as well, for the organizers and Pondicherry University. And without my management, SRM University management, I cannot do such a kind of wonders and instrumentation facility they have given and full freedom to access all the instruments. Without that freedom, I cannot do this kind of work. So for that, I sincerely thanks to my management, SRM IST, and my sincere thanks to my collaborator, Professor D. Velmurugan, is a fellow colleague, and he has joined in SRM Biotech department for doing the molecular docking studies. Professor M. Vairamani, who teaches the mass spec. I learned mass spec from him. And Dr. R. Satish is the collaborator in genetic engineering department SRM IST for in vitro cell line studies. Dr. Muthu Tamil, NMR facility, and he has done the NMR. And my team members, research scholars, MTech and BTech, and project students, especially Nagasatya, Kesavan, Santosh, Roshni Iyer, Swati, Arkadeep, Pradiksha, who is the MTech student in food process engineering. After completing the BTech from our institute, and she has joined here, and I am planning to join PhD. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for a wonderful talk. Yeah, few questions.
Oh, this is a wonderful work, and a lot of work you have done. But I have a couple of questions.
Yes,
one related to several of these alkaloids. You tested also their anti-cancerous properties and other medicinal values, and you're trying to enhance their synthesis inside by abiotic / factors. But when you try to do the two things, one, when you try to do that, whether you could find that increase in the yield is sufficient for pilot scale production in future.
Yes. Yes. I suppose. Yes. Please.
Is the cost? Is it cost effective in the sense that it is all there? It's not a crude, but you have to purify and extract, otherwise, and use. Otherwise, the side effects will be there. Other compounds may be poisonous to the toxic to other people. So, when you try to enhance their productivity, is it really cost effective?
Timing for the research purpose, all the instrument which I have used is costly. But if it goes for pilot scale, if I understand the pathway to trigger phenylalanine ammonia lyase pathway, if I treat any molecule which can enhance that particular enzyme, then I can target that enzyme alone to enhance by cofactor production, supplementation of the cofactor or coenzymes, vitamins or metallic cofactors. If I enhance, if I introduce, then that particular protein alone, the enzyme alone can act more and leads to production of that particular, that can be possible by minimize the cost effect.
Okay. The most other point is that any of these compounds, the gene clusters or the pathways are identified already?
Not yet.
That's maybe most important.
Yes.
And out of this many compounds, you are also working with some new plants. This is
Natapodiates pneumonia.
Okay. The point is that No pathways so far have been identified, and genome sequencing is available.
No.
Genome sequences are also not available.
It is indigenous plant. So as like Indian scientist has to take foot forth to do that sequencing, but unavailability of this genome sequence, I'm just going reverse. So
Otherwise, it's really wonderful piece of work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I love to interact and explain if you ask the question. I'm very happy. Yes, please.
Good morning, sir. My name is Vedita, MSc first year. Sir, I wanted to ask, I've been always told by my mother, like, you should not eat soybean if you have thyroid problems. Can you please elaborate on that?
Okay, the soya, all the legumes does have the protein. Okay, so majority of the vegetarian people relate the protein source is the legume. So if the soya does contain the lectin is nothing but, for example, H1N1, we call it as the influenza viruses, we call it as H1N5, H1N9. H stands for hemagglutinin. It can, the guy, if you germinate the wheat, take the wheat, water the next day morning and put it in the blood, all blood get aggregated. That process is called hemagglutination. This agglutination can be coordinated by a special kind of protein called lectin protein. This one among the lectin protein is the H1N1. This lectin protein will be abundantly present in this soya, which can go and binds the selenium and iodine, which can trigger and to regulate the thyroid metabolism. So that may be a reason, but as per my understanding, I understood and I am explaining, but I don't know exactly what mechanism is mediated for this process.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Selenium from the food, again, the selenium comes from the nuts and sea sources. Groundnut, soya, since it's American crop, they want to commercialize all over the world to earn a lot of money. But for the milk also does contain this particular compound which can goes and binds with the nuclear binding receptor which can trigger the ovulation. So it is not advisable. For menopausal women it's advisable. For the young kids it's not advisable. Yeah.
Olive oil cannot be used because in other foreign countries because of the weather. Here, Bangalore people can use olive oil, but people in Tamil Nadu if they use olive oil, it will generate more heat.
No, the reason is stability. Olive oil stability. Omega, that is a monounsaturated fatty acid is rich. Oleic acid. MUFA. If you keep in this environment, Bangalore environment, it's sustained. The cleavage of double bond and it become, if you keep in this environment, it easily to break that double bond and it becomes saturated fat.
What's the personal experience? Even outside we were comfortable, but in India we are not.
But quite costly. It is not grown in India. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Amrish. Actually, I have question. If a particular metabolite present abundantly in that plant, is it indicating that it is working for its defense mechanism more? If that present more, like you did some LCMS study.
Yes, of course, I am happy that you have asked. It depends on the exposure. If suppose, if you are keep exposing particular pathogen, your immune system will enhance us to fight against that particular pathogen. For example, that the camptothecin might be produced, or especially for jasmine. Why the jasmine is producing much amount of jasminic acid? People love and pluck. Keep on plucking, plant get wounded. Once if it is a plant get wounded, systemic acquired resistance is mediated. There is a wound. There is a wound. Somebody can enter and destroy my system. You prevent. That is why jasmonic acid is get accumulated. Likewise, it's adaptation. Depends on the environmental factor and response.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know whether you satisfied or not.
Yes,